Tomorrow we begin the season of Advent. And in this introductory video, I would like to invite you to join me each day as I focus on the daily scripture readings to help prepare meaningfully for the coming of Christ. Advent has come to be closely associated with Christmas, and the birth of Christ dominates much of Advent preparation. But did you know that this wasn't always the case? In fact, Christians did not celebrate Christmas up until the beginning of the 4th century. The primary feast of the Christians was Easter, and Advent was a preparation for a totally different celebration. So let me take you through the historical development of both Easter and Christmas and reflect on how we can make Advent 2025 a meaningful experience. The word Advent is derived from the Latin word adventus, meaning coming. And scholars tell us that Advent was a season of preparation for new Christians who had prepared themselves to enter the church on the Feast of the Epiphany somewhere in January. And during this season of preparation, early Christians would spend 40 days in penance, prayer, fasting, and abstinence to prepare for their entry into the church. So there was very little connection between Advent and Christmas. Christmas itself did not come to be celebrated on December the 25th until the conversion of Constantine. The day was determined to be the birth of Christ, primarily to Christianize some of the prominent Roman festivals, especially Saturnalia and Sol Invictus. But by the 6th century, Romans had tied Advent to the coming of Christ. But the coming of Christ they had in mind was not the birth of Christ so much as it was the second coming of Christ. And it was not until the Middle Ages that the Advent season came to be more closely connected with Christmas. Now, as I have done each year, I would love to have a focus for our reflection this coming Advent. And as I randomly read through the readings for each day, I realized there is a phrase that stands out in the scripture readings. Now, you know Advent readings depend heavily on the book of Isaiah. It's primarily because many of the messianic prophecies are contained in the book of Isaiah. And on the very first Monday of Advent, if you read the scripture readings, you will see that Isaiah begins with the phrase, "on that day." And that phrase captures the hope of the people of Israel. That all the complexities of life, all the anxieties of living in this world will be resolved in a way that would bring a peaceful resolution. And so I'm going to focus on that phrase, "on that day," to help us navigate through these days of the Advent season. Before we end this episode, may I please ask you to subscribe to my channel, and please hit the like button, and please also share this video so that more people may not only prepare meaningfully for Christmas, but it would also help me to take this ministry of mine to a larger audience. Please do me a favor and right now subscribe to my channel. I will see you in the coming days of Advent, and let us look forward to what God can do in our lives on that day. God bless you all.